how's it going out there today, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Coming to you today from Kansas City. It's Friday, January 31st. We're done with January. Put it in the past. So I drove down here from Minneapolis to the, to the Kansas side of Kansas City. I drove from Minneapolis to here in one stop. I did not stop along the way. It took me 7 hours and 20 minutes, basically, to get from, where I needed to be, or from the yard to where I needed to be. Delivered to a retail customer. Luckily, got there right before they stopped receiving, so that was a plus. But it got me thinking along the way of, a new product idea. You guys let me know in the comments if you think you're interested. But trucker diapers. They would be light duty, really for number ones, not really made for number twos. But, let me know if you're interested. I'm going to think about putting some product placement out there, we'll see. I don't know. I think they could sell, get some sort of corporate deal with, the big mega carriers and, just sell them by the pallet. The only problem I see with it, though, is, they would be littered along the highway, so, we may have some bad press. If you buy Cash King brand trucker diapers, don't throw them out on the highway, please. Gives us a bad rap. But anyway, just thinking about that on the ride down. When you got over 7 hours of driving, you got a lot of time to think. I really didn't solve any real world issues, but I did think of that. So, maybe it'll lead to some money. We get some corporate sponsorships. We'll have Kenworth logo on the trucker brand diapers. We'll sell Prime Ink advertising on the ass of them. I don't know. I was just spitballing it. We'll see where it goes. If you have anything to add to that, put it in the comments. If I make millions off of it, I tell you what, I'll try to remember you. I'm not saying I will. Definitely not saying I'll share the money, but I'll try to give you a shout out, if I do. But anyway, before we get into the video, the real meat and potatoes of it, as I like to say, be sure to hit that subscribe button for me if you can. Trying to get to 1,000 subs. I'd really like to impress my kids with that. They're amazed that I've got the subs I've got. So if I could get it over 1,000 and really, that would be like a real dad mark in my life to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you could help me out with that, if you don't mind. But anyway, let's get to the trucking. Let's get to the trucking part of it. Been a pretty standard week this week. It's been kind of low miles. I've been dealing with a lot of, I feel like a salmon this week. I'm swimming upstream. Like nothing's coming easy this week. Literally right after I made my last video, I had spoke to a security guard at a customer I was delivering to. And I said, hey, the trailer I'm picking up had a blown brake chamber on it. I've been here for like 4 hours to get somebody out here to fix this thing. And, not quite 4 hours, but by the time I hooked up, did my drop and hook and got the new trailer, it was 4 hours. So, I asked the security guard, I said, hey, is it cool if I just stay here for another 6 hours? I'm like, I will literally get up at like 3 in the morning. I was like, I will be out of here before anybody starts, coming in and out. The guy was like, yeah, it's cool. Just pull off to the side over there. He told me where to pull to. There was, there's some drop trailers over there, but there was really no action going on that late at night. This was like 9 o'clock at night. So at when this happened, when I talked to that guard, it was about 7 o'clock at night. So I sit there for 2 hours, 9 o'clock, the night shift guard comes in, beating on the door like the police. And, basically it looked like one of the Golden Girls popped out of this little security car, and she was like, you gotta go. And I was like, I talked to a guy earlier that said I could stay here, and she basically, her pimp hand was strong. She gave it to me straight up. She was like, you ain't staying here on my property. That was a great impression of her, by the way. It's her property. Apparently, she owns that because that's what she kept referring to it as, her property. It's tough in this day and age. Like, I don't recommend hitting anyone or being violent, but I really wish I could teach people the lost art of respect. Like, she could have asked me, hey, can you move? Instead, you got to get off my property. Don't let that plastic badge get your ass whooped, is what I'm trying to say. So that was that. I got up, I left, I drove. I was like 4 hours over on my, not, I don't know, 2-3 hours over on my day at that point. So, my personal conveyance is apparently I tripped something. Safety got in there on my Qualcomm and took my personal conveyance off, which I went and got it turned back on before because I keep doing things that they don't like on personal conveyance. I have explained to them what I'm doing is legal. If you look at the DOT laws, what I'm doing is legal. What I'm doing is I'm dropping trailer at the yard, bobtailing to the house, and then whenever I get ready to come back to work, I bobtail to the convenience store 3 miles away from the terminal to get a soda. That's personal. And then from the gas station 3 miles away, I go on duty. I do a pre-trip. I drive over there on regular drive time. They keep thinking, that that's not legal. And I'm like, that's legal. You can make more than one move on personal conveyance on your off time, because I had an instance one time when I had the truck parked on a side street and it snowed like a foot. So I had to go move the truck. I moved it on personal conveyance. This was at a previous company. And they never said anything. Safety here is, how should I say, a little overzealous, I guess, is a good way to put it. They need to calm down, take a chill pill, whatever. But anyway, did not have personal conveyance available, so I drove for 23 minutes on, just over. Really wasn't too mad at it because I was really tired. The day before, or that day, I'd stopped and took a nap, and that kind of, made me not as, made me like okay. Then I went and did that drop and hook, and I slept for like an hour and a half there before the Golden Girl security guard ran me off. So I got a nice nap in there, and then of course driving up the road, and having to go off duty again, restarted my 10-hour break. So I took that full 10-hour break and slept that whole 10-hour break. So, maybe a shout out to that security guard. She did help me get a couple extra hours of sleep in that night. And, nothing they could say about it. That's hours of service. You take my PC away, and this is what happens. So, I was like, don't call me if it's late because I don't care. Get the safety guy, get that stick out of his butt and tell him stop taking my PC away. So Monday morning I will be in there first thing again because they told me they put it back on there, but I think they were pulling my leg because they said, well, you have to log out and log back in, and I did that and it never came back and I didn't have time to deal with it. So I just said, yeah, whatever. So I grabbed a load, customer freight going back to Minneapolis, dropped that off, went to the yard, grabbed a preloaded trailer off the yard. Hey, man, I threw my calendar. I already ripped my calendar off. I don't remember what day that was. I think that was, we'll say that's Wednesday. I don't know. Does it really matter? So Wednesday, I grabbed a preloaded trailer off the yard. Great load, and a new, not brand new, but a newer trailer with some of the aerodynamic stuff on it. It weighed 8,600 pounds, the load did. And, I really went for aerodynamics on that. I pushed the fifth wheel all the way forward, got the trailer right up against the back of the truck because I knew the facility it was going to. I've been there before, so I knew I wouldn't have any trouble, with that. So, and then I pushed the tandems up, to get up near the skirts to help that out. 0 mile an hour wind on that, which is always helpful. So I turned in on that run. It was right under 400 miles. It was like 390 something miles, through Wisconsin into Illinois. And I was over 9 miles a gallon on that. That's the first time I've really had a longer load like that be over 9 miles a gallon. I've had some stuff, running around Minneapolis, doing this, that, and the other. That's been up at 9. But for an actual run, that's the first time I've had one like over 9. I think it was 9.2 or something. I've had like parts of runs be over 9, but this one, I reset it before I left because I really wanted to see what I could get out of it. And ran it out. Got to Illinois, 9.4 miles a gallon on fuel. That was, that fuel was $2.69, I think, a gallon. So that put me in at, a really good fuel cost on that. That's probably, I'm no math scientist, but that's under 30 cents a mile for fuel. So, man, I wish I could do that all the time. Ran out to Illinois, then picked up another load coming back to the yard. It didn't deliver till Monday, so I sure as heck wasn't going to sit on it. So ran that back. It was like a 43 mile empty move on a 409 mile run. So right at that 10% mark, I've really been on them about this deadhead miles. I talked about it in my last video, I'm just not going to do a bunch of deadhead. When the contract rates are where they are, and you pull 20% off of that, and then you're running a business. It's like you got overhead stuff. You got things going on you got to pay for that. You just can't give it all away in empty miles. Basically, is what I'm saying. So. They're aware that, I'm not digging all these empty miles. They are trying to do some stuff about it, as far as like, I guess some of the other guys here, they just kind of agree to everything. I'll take it. Well, to a degree I will, and I will say this, the other day I had that 100-mile deadhead on a 400-mile load. They did throw $100 on there, which I'm happy with. Like, as far as overall, I don't run a lot of deadhead miles, but when it is a bigger one like that they're willing to throw in on it, I do appreciate that. I really do. So I dropped that load on the yard. That was an okay load, coming from Illinois up to Minnesota. Dropped it at the yard, like I said. It was about a 30,000 pound load. Did okay on that one. Got my truck serviced before I left out to go to Illinois. So I noticed my fuel economy was being pretty garbage, so I wanted to get the truck serviced. It was about 2,500 miles before it was due, but I figured I was at least going to do fuel filters. So I figured, hey, while I got it in there, while we're doing fuel filters, let's just go ahead and change the oil in it while we're at it. So, knocked that out. I think that did contribute to the 9 miles a gallon. I did pretty good coming back to Minnesota with a 30,000 pound load. Not as good a trailer on that one, but I do believe the new fuel filters are making a difference. To me, winter fuel always seems like it does my fuel filters in faster. And, for the cost of fuel filters, if you're running hard, I think you're better off to be a little bit more proactive on them than, to sit around and wait on them, to just get, completely bad. So dropped that trailer on the yard, and then I did that this morning. I ran in. I had about an hour and a half left to do of that load from where I'd shut down last night. Got up this morning early, ran into Minneapolis, dropped that loaded trailer that delivers Monday. I don't know if I make it back. They may have me deliver it. I hope not. I hope they just have a local guy deal with that Monday. It's only going, I mean, it's not far away. He's got to go, but I just don't want to have to deal with it. That's why they have local guys, so they can turn more miles and get more stuff done. But drop that one, grab the load. I just brought down to Kansas City, so 0 deadhead miles on that one. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. I don't know if that's an APU or a reefer unit or a helicopter landing beside me, but holy man, what luck I've got picking neighbors. That thing is loud as crap. I hope y'all can hear that. I don't know. I parked in Wisconsin last night next to a Boyd flatbed, and he had the Opti-Idle on a International, or whatever you want to call that, where it fires up the truck. It was like 15 degrees last night up there. And, man, that Opti-Idle kicked on about every 30 to 45 minutes and ran for about 30 to 45 minutes. I don't see how the guy got a wink of sleep in that. When I was at USA Truck, they used to have that in their Internationals. They had those 9400Is. I like those trucks, but that Opti-Idle is it. I used to tell people whenever I go to the house, just so I can sleep, I have to have the lawnmower running outside, and I have to have somebody come into the bedroom and kick the bed really hard to simulate me sleeping in the truck, because that Opti-Idle kicks on, man. It just shakes the whole truck, when the engine starts and when it cuts off. It's rough having a neighbor like that, let me tell you. I don't know what we got going on over here. I'm going to check this out. It sounds like an APU, but I don't know. Might be a reefer unit. Who knows? But anyway, 0 deadhead miles on this load. I got this load going, and I stopped and scaled it just south of Minneapolis there at the Holiday, at the Super Mega Holiday, whatever the hell the thing's called. Scaled it out there. Everything was legal, legit. I hopped in the truck, and I had, according to what the GPS said I had left to do, to my clock was literally within like 4 minutes of each other. And I could have stopped and took another 30-minute break, but I said, oh, no. We're going to do this. This is happening. This is going to happen right now. I'm doing 7 hours. And, that's what we did. I rode 7 hours and 20 minutes to the delivery without stopping. Just sometimes it turns like that. Sometimes you can do it. I had fuel. I had hours. When I left Minneapolis, it was snowing. When I got to Iowa, it was cloudy. When I got down to what's the one you go through, Ames, Iowa, it was snowing again. Got down around south of whatever, Dubuque or Des Moines, whichever one's on 35 there. It was kind of raining little ice pellets. And then by the time I got to Kansas City, the clouds had cleared and I got some sunshine. So I really went through the whole gamut. It all ended up very nice with the sunshine. I was like, that's a good way to end a long trip, riding into the sun, right at eye level, like just beaming right in your eyeball. But no, I don't want to be negative about it. Anytime I'm riding with the sunshine after riding through snow and ice, pretty much for the past 7 hours off and on, I'll take that sunshine, even if it is right in my eyes. I mean, I got sunglasses up here that are, you could probably weld in them, so I'm not too concerned with the sun shining on me. But yeah, not my personal best. 7 hours and 20 minutes. Back before they had this 8-hour rule crap. By the way, take a moment, write your congressman, and tell them the 30-minute break every 8 hours is stupid. So yeah, not my personal best. I mean, I've done some longers back before they had that. Oddly enough, before the 30-minute break, I didn't reckon kill anybody. So, it's not that dangerous to drive more than 8 hours. without taking a 30-minute break. So some people have done it before. But yeah, overall, not a bad run. Like I say, pretty good. Pretty good day. We'll see how the weekend ends up. I need a good weekend. Like I said, it's not been the greatest of weeks, so I really need some. I'd like to find a good long run out of Kansas City in the morning. Kind of put myself in a position of I wasn't sure I'd get this load taken off tonight, so I didn't book anything for in the morning yet. So you know how that Saturday morning booking goes. I don't know. Hopefully we'll find something out of this area. If not, I will stay in Kansas City and I will celebrate with Kansas City, as their team plays in the Super Bowl. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll let you know what I figure out in the next video. I appreciate everybody watching this far. If you've stuck with it this far, call your psychiatrist. You may need help. But I do appreciate you sticking around this long. Everybody, please share, like, subscribe. More importantly than any of that, leave me comments. I get amused by these comments. I really do appreciate them. Everybody take care of everybody out there, and try not to kill nobody, and be safe. Later.